I stole my brother's daughter and told everyone it was temporary, but I never planned to give her back. My brother Donovan got custody of Sylvie when she was 12 years old. He had fought his ex-wife for custody during their bitter divorce. He didn't actually want to raise Sylvie though. He just wanted to hurt his ex-wife by taking her daughter away. Donovan had always been selfish and treated parenting like an unwanted chore. He would tell people that kids ruined your life completely. Sylvie had been such a bright child before the divorce happened. She painted beautiful watercolors and played violin in her school orchestra. She used to text me funny memes throughout the day. After moving in with Donovan, everything about her changed dramatically. Her texts became less frequent until they stopped entirely. She deleted all her social media accounts. At our monthly family dinners, she wore long sleeves in summer heat. She barely spoke to anyone at the table anymore. I visited their house for Sylvie's 15th birthday in October. Donovan had forgotten it was her birthday and went golfing instead. Sylvie didn't seem surprised that her father had forgotten again. I stayed to help her clean up the kitchen. Her sleeve rode up while she was washing dishes. I saw fresh red cuts marking her thin wrist. She yanked the fabric down and begged me not to tell anyone. That night, I went to empty the bathroom trash. I found a crumpled note in Sylvie's handwriting inside. The note began with the words, "When I'm gone," in shaky letters. My hands trembled as I read her plan to disappear forever. I confronted Donovan immediately when he came home. He rolled his eyes and said teenage girls were always dramatic. He insisted Sylvie was just seeking attention and I was overreacting. I suggested he take her to see a therapist. Donovan actually laughed in my face at the suggestion. He said he wasn't wasting money on some quack doctor. He told me to mind my own business and leave. I started documenting everything over the next 2 months. Sylvie's grades dropped from A's to D's overnight. She lost at least 15 pounds from her already small frame. I found her hidden Instagram account filled with dark poetry. Every poem was about wanting to disappear or not existing anymore. The situation got worse when Donovan's girlfriend Jocelyn moved in. Jocelyn called Sylvie lazy and stupid to her face daily. She would tell Donovan she couldn't wait until Sylvie turned 18. Then they could finally have their own life without her. Donovan would just nod and agree with everything Jocelyn said. Thanksgiving arrived and our family gathered at my mother's house. I went upstairs to find Sylvie during dinner preparations. She was in the bathroom holding a full bottle of Hills. She was staring at them with empty eyes I'll never forget. I took the bottle and held her while she sobbed. She showed me deeper cuts hidden further up both arms. She told me Donovan blamed her for ruining his marriage constantly. Jocelyn had said everyone would be happier if Sylvie was gone. I made a desperate decision that night after dinner ended. I called Donovan claiming my husband had a sudden heart attack. I begged him to let Sylvie stay with me for a few days. I said I needed help while dealing with hospital visits. Donovan agreed immediately since it meant Sylvie would be gone. He didn't even come outside when I picked her up. I enrolled Sylvie in therapy the very next morning. I never intended to send her back to Donovan's house. For an entire week, Donovan didn't text or call once. He didn't ask how his daughter was doing. The therapist had to report what Sylvie told her during sessions. An investigation into Donovan's home began immediately after the report. Sylvie revealed things that made my stomach turn during therapy. Jocelyn had been hitting her when Donovan wasn't home. They locked her in her room without food as punishment. She had to ask permission to use the bathroom. Sometimes they said no and made her wait for hours. Donovan finally remembered he had a daughter after 10 days. He demanded I bring Sylvie back immediately. I simply told him no and hung up. He threatened to call the police and report me for kidnapping. I was prepared with screenshots of Sylvie's suicidal posts. I had photos of her cuts and bruises. The therapist had written detailed reports about Sylvie's mental state. Donovan showed up at my house the next day screaming. He said I was stealing his kid from him. I stood in the doorway and reminded him he never wanted her. He actually agreed and said he only fought for custody to hurt his ex. My security camera recorded his entire confession. The custody hearing happened 2 weeks later. Sylvie testified about the abuse she had endured for 3 years. The therapist explained how actively suicidal Sylvie had been. Jocelyn admitted to hitting Sylvie but insisted she deserved it. Donovan told the judge I could keep the brat permanently. He said Sylvie was too expensive to raise anyway. That was 2 years ago and Sylvie is 17 now. She's back to painting and recently started playing violin again. She got accepted into art school with a full scholarship. The cuts have faded to thin white lines. She still sees her therapist but hasn't had suicidal thoughts in months. Donovan signed away his parental rights without any fight. He married Jocelyn and they post about being child-free by choice constantly. Sometimes Sylvie asks if she should feel guilty. I tell her that his inability to love her is his failure. She calls me mom now instead of aunt.